The growing epidemic of teen vaping has taken yet another horrifying turn, as pediatricians sound the alarm on a rare but incurable lung condition known as bronchiolitis obliterans, more widely known as popcorn lung. And while the term might sound quirky or harmless, the reality is anything but. This is a serious, degenerative, and life-altering condition triggered by the inhalation of toxic chemicals, including those lurking inside flavored vapes being sold to teenagers in alarming numbers. Popcorn lung is not just another complication. It's not a passing illness. It's a permanent form of lung damage that scars the smallest airways and makes it increasingly difficult to breathe. There is no cure. There is no full recovery. Once the damage is done, it's for life. And what makes this even more terrifying is how easily this condition is avoidable if the right warnings were heeded, if products were properly regulated, and if the public was truly informed about the risks. But the truth is being buried under clouds of artificially flavored vapor and slick marketing campaigns. What we're witnessing is the unfolding of a crisis created not by accident, but by design. The vaping industry has deliberately targeted young people with fruity flavors, colorful packaging, and false narratives of safety. The industry has built its entire empire on the lie that vaping is a harmless alternative to smoking, when in fact it may lead to irreversible conditions like popcorn lung, chronic bronchitis, chemical pneumonia, and potentially cancer. They don't care about the long-term consequences. They care about addiction and profits. And they're succeeding massively. According to public health data, 1 in 4 children have now tried vaping. Many of them have never touched a cigarette. That alone should be an international scandal. Instead, we're seeing a sluggish policy response, weak enforcement, and continued loopholes that allow these devices to fall into the hands of minors. Meanwhile, doctors like Dr. Stephanie Hansen, who has seen the first-hand effects on children's lungs, are trying desperately to raise awareness, knowing that they're watching a slow-burning tragedy unfold with minimal public outrage. It is critical to understand what popcorn lung really means for those affected. Imagine being a teenager, once active and healthy, suddenly needing an inhaler just to walk up the stairs. Imagine living with constant shortness of breath, painful coughing fits, and night sweats that drench your clothes and leave you exhausted. Imagine your life being altered forever by something that was sold to you in a neon-colored wrapper, marketed with candy flavors, and promoted by influencers who never showed the hospital visits or the oxygen tubes. And it doesn't end with popcorn lung. While this condition has become a poster child for vape-related illnesses, it's just one in a growing list of mysterious and frightening effects associated with e-cigarette use. From vaping-induced lung injury, EVALI, to increased risk of cardiac problems, brain development issues in adolescence, and a potential gateway to traditional smoking, the dangers are far broader than the industry admits. And because vaping is a relatively new phenomenon, the true long-term damage is still unknown. We're flying blind, and kids are paying the price. The most insidious part of this crisis is the illusion of safety. Flavored vapes are often mistaken for harmless, even health-conscious, by young users. Many are told that vaping is just water vapor, or that it's safer than smoking. These myths are deadly. The reality is that vape aerosols contain dozens of toxic chemicals, including heavy metals, ultra-fine particles that lodge deep into the lungs, and diacetyl, the same compound linked to popcorn lung. This chemical was banned in the UK for use in e-liquids, yet it remains present in products sold in the United States, with almost no oversight or accountability. We are watching history repeat itself. The lies told by Big Tobacco in the 20th century are being recycled and repackaged by the vaping industry today. They are exploiting regulatory gaps, corrupting public perception, and preying on vulnerable youth with manufactured doubt and misinformation. The government's response has been woefully inadequate, and every day that passes without meaningful action adds more names to the list of young people facing lifelong health consequences. What we need is immediate and uncompromising action. That includes banning all flavored vape products, not just cherry-picking which ones are too appealing to kids. It means holding manufacturers accountable for knowingly distributing harmful products. It requires aggressive education campaigns to counteract the tidal wave of false advertising that has infiltrated social media. It demands stricter laws that remove these products from gas stations, dollar stores, and shady websites where age verification is laughable. We also need to stop treating popcorn lung as a rare anomaly and start treating it as the warning siren it truly is. Every child who develops this disease is a canary in the coal mine. Their lungs are shouting what public policy refuses to acknowledge. These products are dangerous, addictive, and being sold under the guise of wellness and stress relief, when they are in fact a vector for long-term suffering and even death. If the goal of public health is to prevent avoidable suffering, then we are failing spectacularly. This is not a matter of personal choice or freedom. Children are not making informed decisions. They are being manipulated. They are being targeted by an industry that thrives on addiction and dismisses the medical fallout as collateral damage. Popcorn lung is just the beginning. If we don't act now, we will see rising numbers of irreversible lung damage, respiratory illness, and death, not just in smokers, but in kids who thought they were doing something safe. The only real mystery left is how many lives will be ruined before we finally draw the line. And by then, how many teenagers will be walking around with scarred lungs, trying to breathe through the lies they were told?